see the pair that got hauled into Tyre? Did you see that?
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just the messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Lower than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off-storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Shards of rock, and those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of
There's
the
a storm
night is
coming,
upon
sis.
us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope
Let
for.
me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the sixth day, let me guess, did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting
anything you
darkness
don't know,
upon their
Lawsman?
prideful sons and daughters. It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well. Is a question the
You think they're
Fallen
connected?
might be better placed to answer than I.
But Ultima was one of the gods responsible.
And on the sixth day, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine. Darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters.
There is nothing divine about him.
But I dare say you remember he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he?
You think they're connected?
Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins,
Responsible.
there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but
nothing
alas,
divine about
I
him.
fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. But he wouldn't be the first. You will forgive me, I hope. That could be said now.
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom.
Nothing in the way of
And we will always be grateful for it.
Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler,
Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others have to say.
remaining copies have been lost to time.
Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. We will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others have to say.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Kashik out her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
Only one. When it rains.
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Lubor
Jill
says
and I.
the village was raided by bandits. Let them know we're on our way.
When it rains.
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
First we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts in the past.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oriflamme.
I can't do it.
First we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oriflamme. My lord. My lady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but
I can't
different.
do it.
They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultima's thralls.
Milady.
And what of your mistress? Is she here? There have been sightings of strange creatures, I
no.
understand.
She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this. Like a cash.
Then we'll look for her there.
Different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing
We
about
could
all this.
leave.
Then we'll look for her there.
The two soldiers were carrying an
Madame, please! Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We could leave.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the
soldiers
Dominion in
carrying-
days. What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges,
Half the
and that is
garrison's
my
been slaughtered
duty.
by those things.
In
We lost
case
the
you have
captain this
forgotten,
very
the
morning.
people of this town
We've
are
tried
your
requesting
charges.
reinforcements,
But more
there's
than
been no
that,
word from the
they are your
capital or the
people.
Dominion in days.
Your sisters,
What
your
more would you have
brothers,
us do?
your lovers.
I would have you.
So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered. Or take it up and do what is right. They are my charges, and that is my duty.
She speaks the truth, you know.
The people of this town
This here.
are your charges.
It's all we have.
But more
It's
than
all that's
that,
left.
they are your
What we have left is
Your
our
sisters, Your
lives.
brothers.
Do you really want us to lose them as
You
well?
have a choice.
Not if we don't
Lay
have
down your
to.
sword and watch as they are
Look,
slaughtered.
there's a
Take
cask
it
under
up
the captain's
and do
bunk.
what is right.
Let's talk about this over a drink, eh? She speaks the truth, you know.
I'm listening.
This here. It's all we have. It's all that's left. I'll have a word with them.
What we have left is our lives. Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look,
Ah,
there's a cask
Clive.
under the captain's bunk.
I didn't expect help to
Let's
arrive so
talk
quickly.
about this over a drink, eh?
And sought to take matters into my own hands.
I'm listening.
It was a noble effort. But I thought you might still need some
I'll
support.
have a word with them.
I'd like you to consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
Clive.
The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air.
And sought to take matters into
And perhaps
my
they
own
did.
hands.
It
It's
was a
hard to know
noble
what to
effort,
believe these days.
But I thought you might still need some support.
I'd
We'll
like
talk to
you
the survivors.
Consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
That
The way
thing?
the survivors speak of them,
It took-
one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they
Did you see the creatures that
It's hard
attacked
to
you?
know what to believe these days.
Creatures? Yeah,
We'll talk to the
they
survivors.
came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed more when...
Did you see the creatures that attacked
When-
you?
Creatures? Where's my Joseph?
It's
yeah,
all right.
They came
Just
out
rest
of
now.
nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were
It's all right.
My
Do you
family.
remember where you were?
on the road from Oriflamme.
You're a pikeman, yes?
We just passed more.
What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so
It's all right.
I went to see if they were all right.
Just rest
And
now.
the back of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life.
It's all right.
My family.
I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us. You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now.
I heard the flood was spreading.
We should head
so
for more.
I went to see if they were all right. And the back of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
Let's go. Faster! Let's go.
Be safe.
Clive, look!
I see them. With me!
Should I bribe you?
Save your strength. It's up.
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know. Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we
You
should
have
let
the
Isabel
town's
know.
thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt.
To be ready for them.
Oh, we shall.
It's not the most selfless of motives,
Isn't
I'll
that
admit.
right,
Whatever it takes, eh? Yes. Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love.
Most of the men to remain at their posts.
The people I love.
For now, at least.
Include the one standing before me. Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the
Handsome
task certainly
and
didn't hurt.
chivalrous.
It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. Now, whatever it if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. I never needed convincing, milady. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. The people I love. Include the one standing
Lest
before
you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one. And that's one fewer than I had this morning.
Now, if you don't
Thank
mind,
you again, Clive.
I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one. And that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer. Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said he'd been attacked by a Kashik. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened.
This man's gonna
Not
die
long
if
after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now, Jill. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered. Those skies are
What do you think, Clive?
Not long after
That we
they
join the
fell dark,
fight.
we had our first
I thought you'd
visit.
never offer.
There were hundreds
Now,
of them.
where I need
Tried
you
to
is the
storm hill.
Fallen Gate.
Only
That's
a
where the
handful
fighting is
made it up
fiercest.
here, but that was
Let the
more
men
than
know
enough.
you've come to help.
The rest are still
Something
down there
tells me
now.
they'll be pleased to
And while
see
we
you.
have a few willing
We're on
fighters
our way.
holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight.
I
Do you
thought
think
you'd
there are
never
as many as
offer.
Martha says?
Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first.
These men don't have the look of hired souls.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
These men
Forgive
don't
me,
have
my
the look
lord.
of hired souls.
There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
So You Wade are left mistaken, earlier with a my Lord scouting Rosfield. party to find out where the We're here Akashic by were coming Madame from. Martha's leave.
Did he? How do you know my name?
Forgive me,
Take your
my
wounded
lord.
back to the inn.
There wasn't time
Martha
for
will see you're looked
introductions.
after. We'll join you
We're
anon.
with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
So Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn.
And to think you took them
Martha
for
will see you're looked
thieves.
after.
A
We'll
fine
join you
reward
anon.
for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble!
Think you took them
The
for
scouting
thieves.
party's almost at the lift.
A fine
They
reward
got a
for
pack of
holding off the
Akashics
horde, that
snapping
is.
at their heels!
When did
And
Wade
they
and
got
his men
wounded
arrive?
with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all. Guardians asked me to shelter some of
We'll
them
worry
that had
about
lost
them,
their
Martha.
homes.
You look
They were
after
making
everyone
ready to
here.
leave just as the
If any can
skies
still
turned.
fight, send
We
them to the
agreed it was
lift.
best we stuck
I
together.
will. You two be safe now.
Arthur! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift. They got a pack of Akashics snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight,
Mad
send them to the lift.
dogs.
I will. You two be safe now.
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
So, Wade.
Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help.
Squire,
And by the
I
looks
need
of
you to
it-
get those who can still walk up the We lift to thought we Martha's. could sneak by them. But what about... But we didn't know there would be so many. I didn't ask, How could Oscar. we have? Sir.
So, Wade.
Behind you!
Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a sight for
Damn it.
sore eyes. We need to get the injured to safety.
Need some help.
Do you think we can hold them
By the
off?
looks of it. We can certainly try.
We could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many.
Are you with us, Sir Wade?
How could we have? Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Behind you!
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha! Is anyone hurt?
Is something wrong?
I don't think so.
The lookout saw smoke
yet
coming from
again,
down
you've
East Pool
pulled me
Way.
from the
Too
flames.
thick to be a hearth.
It's just a pity I
A
keep
second
walking into
horde.
them.
I feel like finishing the job. You've never been one to shy away
Always.
from danger, Sir Wade. Like
Jill
any
and I will
shield
make for
worthy
East
of the
Pool.
name.
You'll need to move the injured without us.
See you're all in one
Don't you worry
piece.
about them.
Martha! The moment my men are safe, I'll follow.
Is something wrong?
Good luck.
The lookout saw smoke coming from down East Pool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for East Pool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Just patch me up as quick as you
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait.
well done.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can. Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
What did you find
But
out
it
there?
won't be long before the next
The
lot
same
arrive.
as Sir Wade. Then we make for Martha's while we can.
Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you. What did you find out
It was a
there?
hard-fought victory.
The same as Sir Wade.
But as long as the skies remain dark, I
Scores of
fear the
Akashic.
Akashic's numbers are only going to
Wherever
rise.
they came from,
It's
they're
not a matter
gone
of
now.
if the Horde
Our
will be
lookouts
back,
say the lowlands are
but
clear.
when.
Hopefully
And
we'll
whether
have
that's
enough
sooner
time
or
to lick
later,
our
we'll
wounds.
need to be ready.
How many of your men
The
were
inn
injured?
here affords a good view of the
Damn
land,
sight less than
and
if
is
you hadn't
easily
turned up.
defendable. I'd
Thank
like
you.
to make this one of our
It
outposts.
was a
hard-fought victory.
What do you say,
But as
Martha?
long as the skies remain
You'd
dark,
have more
I
men
fear
to guard the
Akashic's
rest.
numbers are only going to
Well,
rise.
when you put
It's
it
not a
like
matter
that,
of if the Horde will be back,
of course they can stay.
and whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Parker? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch?
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oscar, over here. He didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield.
Well, go on, then.
I am Oscar.
Not for me to ask him.
Oscar of House Murdoch.
So wait.
Murdoch. I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I am Sir Rodney's nephew. I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
Well, go on, then.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar.
Yes.
But I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oath.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy sheep. Not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are. I mean to say that they're defined by his title.
It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
Winning no little honor in so doing.
But a squire.
I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw.
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once.
Not that Sir Wade
and I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
To say that
it's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from
Know that
me,
I'll
my
show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me. But
I would not have it any other way.
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
Cid! Your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Your new
Indeed.
companion appears much
Although
more formidable
you're a
than your
little
uncle.
late.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big but the fact is, I have more immediate concern.
What did you say
You
to
haven't
me?
been introduced.
Jill,
As if by magic.
Clive has told me much about you.
Let's
Oh,
just
lies,
say
I'm
we've
sure.
yet to
Your
reach a
Stolas said
consensus
that
about
Dalamil
how to
has a
solve
bandit problem.
Dalamil's little problem. And at this
Although
rate, it won't be the actions of the
Any idea where
bandits
they
which
went?
prove to be our undoing.
The desert's a big
I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the desert hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to him?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Cid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. It's just problem. But at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
With the dissenting parties, but even the desert hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to him?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Cid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on...
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's...
That's enough.
When those mercenaries are
Both of you.
slaughtered like
Any
your
more
men?
of this and I'll throw you
going
out
to hire
myself.
more? We're better off
Come
using
back
that
when you're
coin
ready
buy
to talk
food
like
and
adults.
supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandit's ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back?
Victor,
Maybe it'll be your throat that's...
That's enough.
what's he doing here?
Both of you. Any more of this,
Sid.
and I'll throw you out myself.
And Lady
I was about to ask you
Come
the same
back when
thing.
you're ready to talk.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies.
Victor.
I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools.
I was about to ask you
Who
the
are
same
those
thing.
people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. The markets have all and the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. These are cursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire...
We're still working on the skies. Perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. These are cursed skies. Darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. For an entire...
We're still working
So,
on the skies. What I saw was a room full of people who were out but have left to smolder.
I hope so.
That anger and fear.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like,
What I
it's
saw
an
was
easy
a room full
target.
of people who were out but have left to smolder.
What would Sid the
That
Outlaw
anger and
suggest?
fear.
My thoughts exactly. What to do?
Well,
Both sides wish to protect their
if it were my
homes and
namesake,
livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as
he'd
they
let
are
them choose for
divided,
themselves
we are vulnerable.
and be on hand to
If there's
pick up the
one thing
pieces when it all went
bandits like,
wrong.
it's an easy sounds like a
target.
recipe for
What would Sid
A
the
recipe for
Outlaw
disaster is
suggest?
precisely what it is. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will count, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own.
He'd let
And
them
that would
choose for
be?
themselves.
To pool our
and be on hand
resources
to pick up
and
the
When
pieces
all
it
that
went
fear
wrong.
and anger...
it appears
That
we have
sounds
a
like a
plan of
recipe
action.
for
Victor, pay Conrad a visit.
As you wish.
Recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. Your faces are not well known in this town. Don't worry, Victor.
Play along.
What he means to say is yeah.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and
When all that fear and anger...
it appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit.
As you wish. Picture it, Conrad.
Your faces are not well known in this town. Don't worry, Victor.
Play along.
What he means to say is yeah.
Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad. May I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
Here she is. As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last
Pleasure,
one
my
worth his
lady.
salt. And not just from us Red Wings.
Pleasure
You
is
know
all
of the
mine.
7 high houses.
As I told you,
There must be
I
2
summoned
score
the
swords
commander
assigned
here
each
from
one.
Canberra to
Granted,
inquire
we have a
about
few
contract.
boys left.
Victor
If
says
it's
you told him
boys you're
no.
looking for.
That there
Well,
aren't any men
Conrad,
left to hire. Is that true?
Are you saying that
True as the
Dalam's
crystals
finest
cracked.
cannot defend this town
Nobles
better
came and
than a
claimed
gaggle
every
of
last one worth his
unblooded
salt.
striplings?
And not just from us
That a
Red
band of
Wings.
beardless youths
You know
could
of the
better
7
avenge the
high
deaths of
houses.
your brave
There
men
must be
than
2
you
score swords
yourselves?
assigned each one.
Absolutely
Granted,
not.
We have a few boys left. If it's boys
We'll
you're
show
looking
those
for.
bastards.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalam's finest cannot defend
I
this
can't
town
believe that
better
actually.
than a
Conrad's
gaggle
not
of
what you
called the brightest. And there's a reason why I had you. A band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards.
My shop.
I can't believe that actually.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest.
If I had my
There's a reason
pickaxe,
why
I would.
had you.
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something. Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
My shop.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill? I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than and while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return, which means if our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Which means if our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow. Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good. Merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face. Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not...
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss.
Mummy,
we shall see what we face.
Oh, I'm ruined.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were
Good
entirely
news,
necessary.
Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to...
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food.
I have a favor to... I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups. One from the south.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert.
They may even learn to...
But what of the rest?
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch. The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalamil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same. Nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
They mean to overwhelm us. It's over. That hurt.
held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie. Aye, you did well out there. The inn would...
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad seems to have had...
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that,
The plan worked. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits.
Without you, there
Calm
would have
now,
been no
Victor.
line to
Why
hold.
quibble
You
over
saved
the
us, Conrad.
details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid...
I'll take that as a... Conrad seems to have had...
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that,
The plan worked. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that
My
matters.
friends seem to have things under control.
As for you, Sid...
I'll take that as a... For now, at least. Our friends seem to have things under control.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
For now, at least.
Was wondering when you turn up. Hellos from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So,
Right.
how is it you always manage Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto. Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness. So it was not
Small wonder he hasn't stirred.
Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And
I
when
would be
Dion
afraid
learned
to
of this,
wake.
he sought to slay the fiend. Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. Only for his father now, to take the spear both that would an have freed empire him. and her prince lie broken. To drive a man to madness.
Joshua. Small wonder he hasn't stirred. What do you know of Ultima? I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached Very out little. To him sooner, I'm afraid. Warned him of the threat Ultima despite my posed. Best efforts. Now, both an 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate,
Joshua.
It was not death who came for me.
What do you know
but
of
another.
Ultima?
And it was while in my rescuer's care I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Despite my best Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose. And for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you. Even if that means toppling an empire. My rescuer's care. I first heard of Ultima.
What possible use could I be to such a creature?
Ultima is is driven. That is one of many answers that have eluded me. It would seem you, yet crucial. I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. Nothing to have. You were chosen for a reason. That means toppling an empire. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon.
To such a creature.
Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire. I am certain of this.
And I only ice.
You were chosen for a reason.
8 wardens for 8 elements.
All dominants carry
It's
within
you,
them the might
Clive.
of an icon. You are different. Limitless power. You're special. That is at once. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. I wield fire, and they do not end there.
And I only ice.
The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless. You're special.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew. Were I to hazard a guess, perhaps Ultima has been. I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind.
Several times now.
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle, were I to hazard and fail to contain him here inside me. The two of you are somehow incompatible.
Inside you?
His mind not properly attuned to your body. With every setting sun,
mind.
I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. This is why I struggle. We must find the means to bring an end to him inside me, before I meet my own.
Inside you?
What were you thinking?
With every setting sun, it was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother's flames.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Do so at a cost. We must find the means to bring an end to him, before I meet my own.
Joshua! What were you
Clive!
thinking?
It's Gav.
It was that or let him take Clive.
There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
That doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua!
Clive, it's Gav.
Well, what's the short of it?
Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No.
Well,
Well, they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army
have to get them out of there.
monstrosities.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
What of Lord Byron
Vivian,
and Mid?
what's the swiftest route to the
Were they
Free
able to
Cities?
escape?
That sounds like a
They're all right
question
for
for the
now.
map. Look here.
They're hiding with Gav.
This road,
Admit
through
shit.
Tabor, should provide the
Have to
least
get them out
trouble.
of there.
Good, and we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas.
What a coincidence.
Tell
Tabor
Gav
is
to stay
exactly where I'm
where
bound.
he is.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
What's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like
You
a
don't
question
think
for
I
the
told
map.
him the exact same thing?
This road,
Were Tyre not such a talented
should
healer,
provide the least
I
trouble.
would surely have been inclined to agree. But thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
I told him the exact same thing.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
I would surely Thank you, brother. But thanks to her
I'll look after him.
I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive!
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you.
I'll look after him.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Candle was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it, the Echoes have a will of their own.
Straight home now. Straight home now.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
I do. What are you off to now then? Bound for the Free Cities, perhaps? Oh, no need to say if you'd rather not. We all have our reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself at the mo. Truth be told, I could do with a bit of inspiration. Don't know which way to turn no more. Was doing a roaring trade back in Oriflamme. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. So, no need to say if you try me luck in the desert. We all have our reasons. And the Fang went the same way. Don't get me started on the mess in the bloomin' Dominion. Suppose I could try Canberra next. But no, my luck. The old place be crawling with the works before I'd even sight me storing trade back in Oriflamme. I always say. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. There's opportunity. Thought I'd try me luck in the desert. You know what that is? So, started on the mess where to next? Is there any money to be made in Ash? Do orcs even carry gear? Even side me store?
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go round it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Another
have to be careful. We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within. We're nearly there.
Welcome, welcome.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates.
Anything else?
She awaits us within.
Fine choice. Welcome, welcome. Anything else? Fine choice.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yotei, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor.
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne.
Knight of the Undying, charged
Or
with the
more
protection of His
specifically,
Grace
to its
Joshua
heir.
Rosfield, Keeper of the
They
Flame
have
of the
served our
Phoenix.
family for generations, albeit from the shadows. It all makes sense.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and
care to
enactment of the
elaborate?
rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yotei has been my constant companion and protector.
Our family for generations.
Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm. Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of
Lady
ancestral
Yotei.
communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety.
You saved my brother.
And since the day I left
I
Rosaria,
owe you a debt I can
Yotei
never
has been my
repay.
constant companion and protector.
I but did my duty.
Without her sword, I would not have Come now. survived my journey. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace,
Rise, Lady Yotei.
it is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall,
I owe you a debt I can
it
never
was
repay.
the Einherjar. I but did my
Beyond
duty.
any doubt.
Come now.
The
Tell us
Black
what you've
Galleon.
discovered.
Joshua,
Your Grace,
the Einherjar is the
it is
Royalist
as you
flagship.
feared.
What business would they have in the
vessel we
Dominion?
spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall.
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at
was the
Drake's Fang,
Einherjar.
I sensed the malign
Beyond
influence
any
of
doubt.
Ultima, and bid Yotei and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor
Einherjar is
shortly
the
after the
Royalist
fighting
flagship.
began,
What
and set a
business would they
course
have
due
in the
south.
Dominion?
For Canva.
Upon
Then it is
learning of Waloed's
Waludenites who
involvement in
besiege the
recent
cities.
events at Drake's Fang, what is left of them,
Sensed the malign influence
of Ultima, and
bid
the
Yotei
Black
and the
Galleon
Undying
sails
look
up
into
at
the
one
matter.
man's behest.
We have reason to believe that
Barnabas
the Black Galleon
Thumb.
weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waludenites who besiege the cities.
What is left of them? Yes. And the Black
But
Galleon
are we truly
sails
safe
up at
here
one
in the
man's
Agora?
behest.
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce.
Forgive us. We were not aware Dalmekia now subsisted on charity.
How dare you?
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital.
Distinguished members of the council,
All you can think about is
you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What did you... What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege. Distinguished members of the council.
Very well.
You must forgive
My
His
colleagues,
Majesty
do you
this
not see?
intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
He has come to save us from the Akashi.
Crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools. Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny
Your
it.
ignorance
Guards,
unbecomes you.
fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Your
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing
Enough.
the cobbles of Canva with her citizens wear the colors Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see
Pathetic
our guests to
creatures.
the dungeons!
That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city. Her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes,
The
Your
girl is
Majesty.
still here, somewhere in the city. Her consciousness fair. Come, Mythos. Father's hubris. A consciousness to which surely the prince's light cannot have sated you. And inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you. So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry.
So then,
Show them.
how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike. His very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects. And while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it. Like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Their dominants are meant to be his subjects. Clive, may I tell Yotei of the lake? This role. Others have rejected it.
By all means.
Which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs Yotei, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Clive, may I tell Yotei to his sag Ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered. Yotei,
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty. Remember, field, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards.
If that is your wish, Your Grace.
But
please be safe.
Though well concealed,
if aught were to befall you,
lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered. You have my word.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty. Remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you, I... Farewell,
you have
my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yotei.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yotei.
Let's find our friends. Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why
Cyril.
I had to let her go. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. Cyril, for as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield. How fares the search?
Well, I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace,
yes.
Joshua Rosfield,
Yotei is
keeper
otherwise
of the
engaged,
Flame of the
at my
Phoenix,
behest.
and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
The
duty of wardenship.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Of the Flame of the Phoenix. We are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix.
I entrusted Cyril here with
Such
overseeing
is,
the investigation
and has
into
ever been,
Ultima's origins.
our creed.
Findings from his brothers and sisters afield
I see.
are delivered here to be. You have your associates, I have mine.
Just how
But
many
you may now
Undying
think
are
of them
there?
as ours.
Not nearly enough.
That won't be a
milady.
problem.
Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance, our creed. It is from the darkness that we serve. Both him
You have your
and now
associates,
you.
I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem.
Pray accept this token. The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you. It is from the darkness. If there is nothing further.
No.
Him.
You are dismissed.
And now you, Your Grace. Pray accept
The canva then.
We'll talk about this later.
For as long as you bear
Cyril
members
seemed
of our
very,
order will reveal themselves unto you.
You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
The canva then.
We'll talk about this later.
Cyril seemed very... You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free cities and a sea?
Faster!
Then let us be ready. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
Will we ever see the sun again?
Yep. Well, sang for you, dear.
Will we ever see the sun again?
Not bad, if I do say so myself. Yep. Well, sang for you, dear. Not bad, if I do say so myself. You can thank me later. Anything else?
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Best.
You can thank me later. Anything else?
It'd better all be here. Dangerous world out there. Finished, are you? Better I'll be here. Finished, are you?
Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you,
Sounds
Gav.
like
thunder.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come. Is that who I think it is?
You're late.
Yes.
We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Good to see you. Any trouble
Clive's
on
told
the
me all
road?
about you. Or even listening most of the
Nothing we
time.
couldn't handle.
Name's Mididol.
I knew you'd come.
Everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Is that who I think it is? Eh?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Mididol. But everyone calls me Mid.
My boy.
My lady. Uncle Byron.
Hey?
It's really you! I never thought I'd see the day.
My boy.
So these Akashic are being controlled.
That's what it looked like.
It's really you!
Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned. But silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in this city. They moved in ranks with a
So these
purpose,
Akashic are being
and not of their own.
That's what it looked like.
Ultima's doing.
Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were
Perhaps.
turned. But silent as monks,
What of
every
the
last
city?
one of them.
The people.
Your man here speaks true, Clive.
Dead. Mostly.
We saw
Mostly,
more
but
than a
not
few in
all.
this city.
A handful managed to lock
They moved in
themselves in their
ranks
villas
with a
before the
purpose,
horde arrived.
and not of their own.
Some in the merchants' district to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
Perhaps.
If the
What of
Akashic
the
stumble
city?
across either hiding
The
place,
people.
a few bolted doors won't hold them for long.
Mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock
need
themselves
to
in
find
their
them.
villas before the horde
And
arrived.
quickly.
What do you
Some in the
propose?
merchants' district to the west, and a few others
We
on
split
the
into
far
two
bank.
parties. I will make for the Merchants District, while you look to those across the river. Stumble across either hiding place. A few bolted
Mind
doors
keeping an eye
won't
on my
hold them
brother?
for long.
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants'
We need to
entrance.
find them,
Understood.
and quickly.
And what of us?
What do you propose?
Mid, is she fit to sail? Into two parties.
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
While you look to then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time,
keeping an eye
they'll
on my
never make
brother?
it to the hideaway on foot.
Not at all.
You leave that to me.
We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
Is she fit
I'll
to
keep
sail?
him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron. The Mithril
That's
engine
Lord
could probably do
Rossfield,
with
you
a few
little
more
gutter snipe!
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
Shall we then?
You leave that to me.
And you keep Clive safe.
Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you? Be careful.
Think I can manage that?
Both of you.
I'll keep him safe.
Looks
You
like
too.
you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
All right, Torgal.
You keep Clive.
Let's find those survivors. Be careful. Both of you. They don't stand a chance against those things. monsters here. What happened to the Royal Army? There's nothing but monsters here. Sounded big. Joshua and Jill must be busy.
caused quite the commotion. But then I would expect no less from you.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt. And now you're here. With an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners,
But
Lord
then I would
Rossfield.
expect
No less from you. They are men, like you and me.
You again.
Albeit ones
I don't believe we've been
unburdened
introduced.
by the wills that drive our kind.
You were in my family's crypt. And now
They
you're
are
here.
pure.
With an army
They
of
are
Akashic thralls.
divine.
What?
Rossfield. And they are all that remains
like you and
in this once raucous city. Albeit ones
You'll pay for what you've done.
as you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. They are. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. And they are all that the vessels shall not be spoiled.
You'll pay for what you've done.
I am Sleipnir of House Harvard. I confess I have been very and you will yield. Or not. As long as you don't hold back.
Nice try. Nice try. Too slow.
You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame.
What now?
A gift from my liege lord Zarbre. Gungnir. You will forgive me if watch closely, Mythos. Yes!
Nice try. Actually, I wouldn't.
vessel is strong.
Clive!
You all right?
As are you, I see.
We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late.
As are you, I see.
What's wrong?
We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but
Nothing.
we couldn't save them.
I hope. It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Walud. Leaving so soon.
Get back.
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Walud.
Get back.
Wild and impetuous. I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Stop calling me Mythos.
Wild and impetuous. But Mythos is everything. More of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. Calling me Mythos.
But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel.
No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness?
Is my own.
Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness. Truly,
Try it.
Cancer.
Joshua! Joshua!
Oi! Oi! This way! Hurry!
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste. Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Will he be all right?
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him. This place is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for.
The phoenix can mend
If the guilds
flesh,
caught wind of what
but
we're
the
up to,
spirit
they'd all
must
want a
recover on
piece.
its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him.
All right?
This place
And
is remarkable.
how is he?
Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
Do not blame yourself.
That beauty's belly's
He was
filled
barely
with wonders the
breathing
world
when
ain't
you
ready
brought
for.
him here.
If the
You would
guilds
have
caught wind
lost
of what
him
we're up to,
if it were not for
they'd all
you.
want a piece.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body,
And how is he?
but he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew? Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here.
Allow
You would
me,
have lost him if it
your
were not for
lordship. Don't know what I was thinking.
Barnabas may have severed
Putting you to the
nigh
trouble
every
like that.
sinew in my brother's body.
Tis no trouble carrying comestibles
He
to
made
my
certain the
ailing
wounds
nephew.
were not fatal.
Nigh
I know,
every
but-
sinew?
You've already done so much for us. Pouring your gale into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss. Putting you to the trouble like that.
You risked your life.
Tis no
And for
trouble
what?
carrying
Some girl you
comestibles
hardly
to
know.
my ailing nephew.
I know, but
Why'd you do it? You not mad or
you've already
something?
done so much for us. Pouring your gale into the hideaway and now the ship.
Wouldn't
I
go
don't wanna
that
take the
far.
piss.
Clive!
You're
You
awake.
risked your life.
My
And
boy.
for what? Some girl you hardly know.
All I want to do is help,
Why'd you do it?
and the world won't
You
save
not mad or
itself.
something?
It was Sid. Your father, who taught me that.
Clive! Sounds like him.
My boy.
Don't you dare do that
All I want
again.
to do is help, and the world won't What of the royalists?
Fucked off, a lot of them. Along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt.
Your father.
Behind here, I wouldn't sail without him.
Sounds like him.
Clive. Don't you dare do that again. Jill didn't come back.
What of the royalists? What do you mean?
Fucked off, a lot of them.
She
Along
kept
with
the king
galleon.
busy while the
With
others
the
dragged
king
you
on
out.
board, no doubt. Behind here, I wouldn't sail without him.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures.
Jill didn't come back.
As long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere.
The ether of her icon endures.
It's the Mithril engine. She's got kicked like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But you have an idea. We must
Well,
pursue the Black Galleon.
of course I do.
Jill will be with
My
the
dad
king.
will have seen this
I'm
coming
sure
a
of it.
league off. Well, good luck catching
If I had his
him,
old
'cause
writings,
my ship's going nowhere. It's the
If you
Mithril
had his old
engine.
writings, you'd
Got
be
kicked like a
sitting
wild
under a
chocobo and a
fuckload
mind
of
to tear the
rubble.
hull in half.
The ones Otto didn't save anyway.
Idea.
I suppose he might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's
Of course
enough.
I do. My dad
Do
will
what
have
you
seen
can
this
to
coming
ready
a
the
league
ship.
off.
I'll speak with Otto.
In
If I
your
had his old
condition, you
writings-
really are mad.
If If you had his
Perhaps.
old writings, you'd be
But the
sitting
world really
under a
won't save
fuckload
itself.
of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose you might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself. Right. Gav said that Otto might know something. Right. Gav said that Otto might know something.